What's going on YouTube? StealingLikes here, and you guys have once again called me hand in cookie jar. I'm out here trying to get me some likes. Today, I'm bringing you a live battle against Shiny. Now, Shiny and I met up on Serebii, decided to throw this one down. So for my team preview, today bringing a little bit of a change up as I bring Archeops, Crobat, Jellicent, Heracross, Mew, and Swampert. Now this is definitely a little bit of a different team for me, as I am running two water types, namely the Swampert being the most interesting here. Now, I just wanted to see how well Swampert would fit with this, as it does bring an immunity to electric, and if you all notice, I have a lot of electric problems on this team, as Jellicent, Archeops, and Crobat all would go down to Jolteon. So, with that in mind, I decided to pack Swampert as a good balance to that. Not to mention, I just noticed today that Swampert is my only legit ground type. So, I will be bringing different ground types in the future. I don't have any of those quite ready yet. But for today, Swampert's going to fill the slot. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get into this battle. Let's see what Shiny brought today. Alright, so Shiny is bringing his Rotom Mower? Lawn? I think it's Rotom Lawn. I don't remember the exact name to each Rotom. Charizard, Muck, Clefable, Heatran, and Slaking. Ooh, Slaking. Ooh, nifty. So, I'm guessing the Slaking won't lead. I mean, it could be some kind of lead. However, Heatran's terrifying. I'm glad I have Archeops with me. Clefable won't like Crobat, which he might think is leading. Muck, I don't know. Archeops would deal with well. Rotom Mow, I don't know exactly what I brought. Probably Mew for Rotom Mow. Now, that Charizard, if it's Charizard X, I did not bring a lot of answers with this team. I mean, my Jellicent could live it and deal out a Dazzling Gleam if it's X, but it's neutral. So, I am going to go with a Crobat lead or an Archeops lead. I feel like Crobat is honestly the faster lead. I'm not certain. However, I am going to lead with Archeops. With Crobat, man, I take forever to make decisions. I wish I had written it down. Oh, maybe if I can find a piece of paper real quick. I do remember his team for a second. I've got it in my head. Oh, no. I don't have a pen. I want to see what he leads with, though. I have a pen. Alright, so, for the first time ever, I'm going to be writing down my opponent's team. He brought Charizard. Heatran, who's in front of me right now, as his lead. Clefable. I don't remember the other ones now. No! And I remembered to write it down this time. Alright, so Heatran, not something I want to deal with the Crobat at all. Now Crobat, it's not expendable here either. So I'm going to U-turn. I'm going to go straight out into my Jellicent, because I feel like Jellicent probably has the most that this Heatran doesn't want to see. Oh, it's holding an air balloon. Well, it was holding an air balloon. So out comes Jelly or Swampert. Jelly or Swampert. Because I feel like it could possibly have something for Jellicent. I don't see it having a single answer for Swampert. I'm going to go out and Swampert. Swampert should terrify here, as I'm sure Heatran can't really stick around against it. He goes for the Stealth Rocks. Ooh, nifty. I like seeing that. So my opponent is probably going to withdraw here, as I am going to go for a Stab, super effective Earthquake. Now Charizard could come in. However, I don't see my opponent switching into Charizard in front of Swampert. Oh, he goes into Rotom. Rotom will ignore this. So Rotom is also coming. Now, if I can only remember the last two. The last two were beyond important, as Swampert wants nothing to do with this Rotom, because Rotom has grass-like things. Now, Heracross would handle. Heracross is probably my best bet too, as I'm looking over the team. So I'm going to swap over into Heracross. And then, I think I'm going to set up with Heracross, honestly. He might try to do things to me. I don't know exactly what he wants to do. He could trick if he's holding something weird, as the Stones Dig. He Leaf Storms. I'm going to resist and take it like a boss. Oh, I do not take that like a boss at all. At all. So, I am going to go... I'm going to go straight away for a Pin Missile. And I'm sure I don't... Okay, I don't outspeed. I figured he would withdraw, but I don't want to see this all go downhill so very, very quickly for my Heracross. As my Heracross, it's a really, really nice Pokemon to have. Unfortunately, he took that hit all too terribly. Now, this Skill Link is going to hurt Clefable. I'm pretty sure it doesn't resist the bug type. It's bulky. It's bulky whether or not it resists. Now, the one thing I do like about the Pen Missile is I do get 5 separate chances to crit, as my opponents have seen in the past. And if I'm not mistaken, just based off of leftovers. Okay, so I'm going to hope that Clefairy can't pack a single thing for my Crobat, as I am switching. I'm going to switch. I'm going to defog and get those rocks out, as they are already on my nerves. Now, my opponent had Heatran, Clefable, Charizard, Rotom. I know he had other Pokemon, but I can't remember what any of them are for the life of me. A Flamethrower, that's going to hurt Crobat's feelings at least. Oh, and he gets the burn. So Crobat is next to useless except for removing rocks, which seems to be something that Crobat is going to pretty much have to do before it goes down. Now, I have answers all over the place as I defog these rocks out. I don't want to see the rocks again. Part of me wishes I had brought Exatu. Now, he's probably going to switch back out into Heatran. I'm going to switch into Mew. It packs the most damage for everything going on here, and he's probably going to just chuck rocks again. So, my opinion would be to swap out, keep Crobat. Crobat might not even be within living range for those rocks. Crobat doesn't look like he's in living range for rocks. Now, going straight out, yeah, I'm going straight out into Mew, because this is ridiculously obviously a rocking moment. And I highly doubt he Fire Blast considering my last switch, as it double resisted. Yeah, so there are the Stealth Rocks. He might want to stick around against Mew, as Mew doesn't look too terribly threatening right here. Mew doesn't seem to be anything that my opponent should be worried about until I get this super effective Scald off, at which point Heatran goes away. So Heatran knows that I'm packing some problems. As he goes into his shiny Clefable. Now, do I pack anything for Clefable? I don't think I pack anything very specifically for this Pokemon. However, I do get the burn on the very first hit, so I'm going to negate the leftover and then a little bit. So let's see. I didn't do as much damage as I would have liked there. However, I think my Mew is going to outspeed that Clefable. I don't know any Clefable to be extraordinarily fast, and I could be wrong. So I'm going to go... Do I go for another Scald? I wish I knew the last Pokemon in his team, as Charizard wouldn't appreciate a Scald, Heatran wouldn't appreciate a Scald. I'm going to go for another Scald. I do recall quite a few Pokemon who just would not like it. Now, Clefable, I mean, it could be packing some things for my Mew. I'm not sure exactly what. Soft Boils to heal. Okay, so stalling Clefable. What could I possibly do for you? As I don't want to switch into Crobat because he will die in a turn. So pretty much I have to let him come in on his terms. Now, Archeops has nothing for this thing. Swampert, nothing for this thing. Jellicent. Jellicent has very, very little it could really do here. Although Jellicent would restore the rocks. So I'm going to swap out into Jellicent, just so that the rocks don't matter on the switch. Now, he might do something here. I don't know what. He's probably just going to Soft Boil again. No, he Flamethrowers. It's resisted and not going to matter, as Jellicent's going to recover most of the damage it already took this turn, and I get the Curse Body off. So, I don't even know if this Clefable is going to be packing anything else for me at all. But now, Jellicent's packing Hex. That could deal a little bit of damage. 130 stab move. Unless Clefable's line is still normal. If Clefable's line is still normal, it's immune. So, I have to think here. I'm going to Hex. I'm going to find out. I'm just going to let the game tell me. Oh, he withdraws. And goes out into... Probably not... Oh, goes out into Rotom. Now, this is not going to do anything against Rotom. I know Rotom's not a ghost. I run Rotom. I like Rotom. I know what Rotom does. Now, Rotom is going to pack problems for a couple different Pokemon that I have. However, that Rotom, in very much particular, that Rotom packs lots of problems, as it's got some kind of offensive thing going on. I'm not certain exactly what that offensive thing is. Now, I could go back out into Heracross for the safe. I'm going to go into Heracross for the safe switch, because he's clearly attacking. Now, I'm pretty much going to have Heracross come out, drop, because he's going to die to the Leaf Storm. The Leaf Storm, all too obvious right there. And now I'm going to go into Crobat, as this is the only way that Crobat can live, in my opinion, because it's going to skip the burn, and the burn is my real concern here. Crobat having that low of a health total is not necessarily the worst thing for this moment. It's definitely... Oh no, he goes down to the stones. Alright, so 2 Pokemon down right there. I really thought he would live that by just a little. I really want to go into Archeops, because Archeops has things for everybody. Not really. Not really at all. I'm going to go into Mew. Now, I know that this Rotom could be packing something along the lines of a Ghost-type move, which is terrible, but I am going to Flamethrow not really paying attention to this, like regardless of the outcome of what switch is going to happen here, as it could very well be Charizard or Heatran. It's Muck. He thinks I don't pack... I'm a Psychic type. That's an interesting thing to throw here, as I now know my opponent's additional Pokemon is a Muck. Now, this Mew doesn't pack anything for Muck. It is very, very unfortunate. Muck probably packs something for Mew. There's got to be something, probably a Dark-type move in here, would be my guess. Now, I don't have a single safe switch into that. As Heracross is down, Jellicent would take super effective. Archeops, not really liking what it's seeing. I'm going to hard switch into Swampert. It will resist the stones coming in. It will probably resist whatever is going on with this Muck. As, well, if it's, no, it wouldn't resist anything going on with this Muck unless it's poison. Now, Muck uses Payback, which is going to do absolutely nothing. And I am going to go for something on this next turn, depending on the Pokemon who comes out. Let's see Charizard. Heatran. Heatran works perfectly, as I am obviously going to go for the stab, water type move here. I'm slower than the Heatran. I know I'm slower than the Heatran, but I can't Earthquake, because he could switch, fearing that Swampert's got things for him. Yeah, switches, probably into Muck or Clefable. Lots of walls going on here. Switches into Rotom. Now, Rotom's going to eat this up like a boss. However, it does let me know exactly what he's favoring here. So he favors going into Rotom. I'm not certain why. I'm not certain at all why he wants to go into Rotom. However, I'm going to go back into Mew. I foresee him going into Muck here, as he gets more safe switches than I do. Many more safe switches, because the damage from the rocks is just slowly accumulating all over my Mew. Now, a Leaf Storm, my Mew, it's going to take it okay, but no, it's just going to drop. So there goes Mew. I'm out 3 Pokemon already. This is looking very, very, very bad. I am going to go into Jellicent's bad, Swampert's bad, Archeops is bad. They're all weak to grass. Now, Archeops might pack something, anything for the grass type. Archeops does pack a U-turn, so I will go into Archeops. It's going to take a little bit of damage from the stones. It doesn't resist, so it's gonna hurt my feelings a little bit, as 2 stone switches will be all I can take before I start seeing a lot of damage. I'm going to U-turn out for the super effective. He withdraws. Now, who does he go into? Clefable. So his shiny Clefable comes out. It's going to take some burn. It's going to take some U-turn. It is not super effective, though, so this is not going to be the best moment for me, as my opponent really dishing out the damage with the rocks. Tons and tons of damage. I feel like Jellicent is probably my best bet here, as Jellicent will scare him off. Now, the question really comes down to, what would he want to switch into this time? It feels like Rotom again. Rotom would definitely bring some pain to my Jellicent. But I know he's switching. And I know he's not switching into a fire type. So I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. Just looking to get off some more residual damage here. Because I've got to start putting down something on all of his Pokemon so that... Oh, he gets Slaking out. What does this thing want to do? I have no idea. It's a physical hitter. It's a normal type. It's going to be immune to the Hex. He may think that's the only offensive move I am packing. As... I don't know if he really wants to stick around against me. Because the Hex is there. It is a thing. Now... I almost have to hit him with the Dazzling Gleam as Brian is next to useless right now. Because he's not low enough on health. But a Dazzling Gleam isn't stab. It's neutral. It's going to be Brian. I'm going to go for a Brian. And he goes for the super effective Shadow Claw. Now, that is going to hurt my feelings a little bit. My Brian should knock him down just a tad. Yeah, just a tad. I'm going to heal up a little. He's going to slack off on this upcoming turn. And doesn't take him to half. So Brian is not going to be doing much here. As I get another one off, he's going to sit around and be lazy. Now, I'm going to let the leftovers heal up again before I switch. I'm not going to let Jellicent just go down. Knowing that he's going to be going for a Shadow Claw, I may be able to safely... Oh, he doesn't stick around at all. He goes out into Muck. Now, I don't know what exactly Muck wants to do here. As, I mean, the Brine's just neutral. It's not really going to do much. I am going to go for the burn on this Muck as well. I'm just going to burn all of his Pokemon. And if I recall correctly, Muck is more a physical than special hitter. I mean, it's been a long time since I've looked at Muck. Even though it is a great Pokemon, I have not gotten back to my Gen 1 roots in a while. I resist the Ice Punch, which I don't know why that was something he wanted to do there, as that was a crit. I Curse Body the Ice Punch, which doesn't even matter. And pretty much go back up to... I heal about half. I'd say half of the damage. I'm going to Will-O-Wisp. Now, he might switch out predicting the Will-O-Wisp. He does withdraw. He's going to go into, like, Heatran, Charizard. Charizard is fine. The question is it Y or X? I feel like X would be more intelligent here, as Charizard X, or X would be more intelligent. I feel like X is more likely here because he carries no dragons. However, my next question becomes, what can I really handle anything from this Charizard? I can't burn it. Brine's going to hurt his feelings. I'm going to Brine. You know what, whatever. I'm going to find out. It is Charizard Y, so he's going to Solar Beam my Jellicent and kill it. Now, even though that is highly unfortunate, it does tell me that Archeops is my best call to get rid of Charizard. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do to drop any of these Pokemon at the moment. I have let too many things go down to the rocks. The rocks have become a true problem. Now, Archeops, it's got to stay over half. As I don't think he's going to stick around, but I can't take the risk. I have to go for a Stone Edge, because if he sticks around... Oh, he stuck around, he's dead. That is an absolutely dead Charizard. So I drop one. I do bring the total down so that I don't take a 6-0. However, completely owned by Stealth Rocks in this one. As forcing me into switches really left me very much so defenseless. Now, Heatran would not appreciate an Earthquake. He doesn't have his balloon anymore. So I'm going to kill Heatran. I believe. He could be... Nope, there's a dead Heatran. So Archeops putting in work. He takes down 2. However, Rotom is going to be a problem. And let's see here. What else was the problem? Clefable? Yeah, Clefable's bulky. So he's probably wondering what his best option is against Archeops here. He goes out into Clefable. Clefable's not going to take burn this turn. However, Clefable is going to drop me below half at the least. I am going to go for a stab neutral Stone Edge Just get that up and out of the way. Oh man, I missed. That is the second time I have missed Stone Edge, and they hurt whenever I miss them. Oh, I live it! I can't believe I just lived that. Okay, so Archeops, it's not going to be able to deal nearly as much damage right now. However, I've got to keep it in, obviously, because the rocks, it'd be dead on entry. There's no other option. I am still faster. Defeatus doesn't take everything away from me. But that's actually a pretty decent chunk out of that Clefable. The only question I have now is what to do with Rotom, as Rotom is the only Pokemon left that can really... Like, Clefable doesn't scare me whenever it comes to Swampert. I know it's faster. I know it's going to be able to deal some damage, but it's going to be neutral damage. Swampert isn't light in the defensive ends, so it's going to take one. However, Rotom. Rotom has got to have problems somewhere in here, and I don't know what those problems would be. I am going to just go for a simple power-up punch on the off chance he decides to go into Slaking, because I don't see it happening. Yep, there's Rotom. Rotom is going to kill Swampert. There is not a question in my mind. So, the power-up punch, not going to do it. I already knew that. He has definitely got me back down in a corner and dead. So that is a 4-0 in my book. I can't see Rotom not winning here at all. I will go for another power-up punch just for kicks. Rotom goes for the Leaf Storm and murders Swampert. So, great game, Shiny. Now, to those of you who don't know, I am looking to bring Wonder Trade Wednesday tomorrow. Now, in order to do that, we have to get 15 likes on at least one of tonight's videos. So, I'm hoping that you guys drop the likes below. I'd really like for you guys to subscribe and comment as well. The subscriptions are just for me to know, how many people are really interested in my commentary and my content. However, the comments below, I want you guys to tell me what you would have done differently. I have a feeling I'm going to get a lot of statements on how many times I switched, because I did make a lot of switches in that one, which was kind of costly. I felt like I was kind of saving my Pokemon from death. However, there were a couple of times where Archeops could have probably stuck around, or Crobat maybe should have stuck out a little longer. But great game. I will be bringing you guys another video later on tonight, so until then, enjoy this one.